On-system relationships are not often discussed within the DID community, and for us we like to call such relationships chaotically beautiful. System relationships can be like how one does external relationships. There can be courtings, marriages, etc., even fights and breakups. Some systems may have external partners who are also systems or could be singlets while having in-system relationships. Now, it is known that not every system is the same, so therefore not every in-system relationship will be the same either. When it comes to external partners, especially one who isn't well educated in DID, it's always best to educate them about fusions. This way, if a fusion happens within and one of the alters is a partner with someone externally, then both sides are better prepared and can have a talk afterwards. For fusions, a relationship, whether internally or externally, might stay the same, grow, or even cause a breakup. Fusions can sometimes have an effect on one's in-system relationship, especially if fusion is with one who was in a relationship and the other who was not. With a done fusion, even though a fused alter has the memories and possibly past feelings, they still are considered their own. There is also a possibility the newly fused alter may no longer hold any romantic feelings for the alter or external partner as before. Splits are something that can also happen within a system that does not happen to someone who is a singlet. When an alter splits, the new split might then become the new alter of a trauma which was held by the previous alter. No, this is not a general thing, but rather something that varies within each system. When an alter who has split was in a relationship, the alter may or may not still have feelings for whoever they were in the relationship with, as some things may be transferred onto the split. Now, this may not be the case at all. There can be splits and feelings of attraction and love may be stronger than before from that alter. So it ultimately depends on the alter, the whole system honestly, and how generally their splits come about. This as external relationships will not be the same either, and this one I do believe should be tread on more carefully. This is especially when one's partner is a singlet, not having much of an understanding about DID and the workings of it. Jealousy is something that is completely normal and can occur within systems and singlets. However, with in-system relationships or having relationships with a system partner, there is an understanding. An understanding about how a specific alter will not always be frond, the dormancy, fusions, etc., rather than a singlet who does not truly understand to an extent or does not wish to be bothered. It is known that although we share one body, we all have our own likes, dislikes, relationships, etc. Because while one specific alter may be in a relationship and in love with someone outside of the system, it does not mean that all alters hold the same feelings for the person, have the same type of relationship, or none at all. No, this should be said for both system partners and singlets courting systems. It's okay to miss an alter you are courting, however, it is not okay to force front the alter you are courting. Alters were created for the most part to protect the body and the system. You cannot and should not always expect the alter you are courting to be from the 24/7 always at your beck and call. By attempting to have only a particular alter front, you can potentially cause great harm to the body and the system. Not only that, but you would also cause other alters within the system to feel they have to give up a love just to accommodate. All this does not mean one should break up their relationship. It's more have communication and an understanding. The understanding that it's okay to express your feelings without placing any guilt and any type of force upon the system. With in-system relationships, course jealousy, miscommunication, etc. can also occur in. However, there is a wider range of understanding if an alter becomes front stark, goes dormant, fuses, etc. Because of the understanding, some systems prefer to have only in-system relationships rather than having external partners. On to the third party looking from the outside, yes, it can seem lonely, however, in-system relationships can be beautiful and beneficial. How it can be beneficial and beautiful ultimately depends on the system. For us, it benefits in a way that it makes us more connected. Beautiful, we shall describe it as chaotic at best because, as said before, our in-system relationships are indeed chaotically beautiful. Just as our external relationships with system partners are chaotically beautiful, we wouldn't want it any other way.
Why don't we talk about being polyam system-wise? I'm sure somewhere on our page, another alter spoke about how relationships as a whole work as a system, and how splits and fusions can change one's relationship. However, I don't think they specifically talk about polyam relationships, or being polyamorous, or even being monogamous. So perhaps consider this video as a long-awaited continuation. Now system-wise, collectively you can be polyamorous or monogamous and have alters who are opposite of what the system is collectively. Example, we are collectively polyamorous but have some who are strictly mono. Reason why we chose to identify collectively as polyam instead of collectively mono is because there are more polyamorous alters than there are monogamous alters. Some alters even identify themselves as monopoly. Monopoly are those who are in monogamous relationships, but do not mind if their partner is polyamorous and have partners. Now, if an alter is monogamous but is front, would they say they are mono or polyam? Well, that depends on the conversation. If one is speaking to that alter alone and wants to know in particular if the alter is monogamous or polyamorous, that alter may say they are monogamous. If asked as a collective, they'll say polyamorous. However, specify they themselves are mono. Now, if the alter you are dating is mono and you yourself are poly, does that mean you can only be in a monogamous relationship? And would that mean other alters will have to give up at a chance at love due to sharing only one body? That answer is up to the system and whoever is their partner. Some systems are okay with having one alter be the one being in relationships, while the other alters don't engage in them. Some systems will develop their own type of relationship with that alter's partner. And of course, even with sharing the same body, each alter is different and may engage in romantic relationships with others. Now, to just assume because a system as a collective is polyam does not mean monogamous alters will automatically become polyamorous. And it also doesn't mean alters are seeking attention, nor is it a gateway to take advantage of that alter. As said before, polyamory isn't for everyone, nor every alter is one. Communication and trust are keys to any healthy relationship. I hope this gives a little clarity about systems and polyamory along with monogamy. I'm sure I am missing a few vital factors about systems and polyamory, so feel free to add anything you wish from this video. It's important to remember for both systems and singulets that you do not have to change for others unless the change is to remove the toxicity from within. Being polyamorous is more than giving more love and having more partners. It's about communication, trust, and knowing being polyam is not a gateway to cheat on a partner or partners. Being polyamorous not for everyone, system or singled. And that is okay. Being polyam should be something that is right and feels comfortable for you, not others. This is what you don't have to change about yourself, never. Force yourself to do something just to make your partners happy. Your happiness and well-being is just as important.